From the stunning Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, welcome inside Goodman Stadium, where Bethlehem Steel FC searches for its second consecutive win against one of the most potent defenses in the USL, the Charleston Battery. Here are the updated Eastern Conference standings. Louisville City headlines the group thanks to its 3-2 win over Harrisburg Friday night. Charleston is deadlocked with reigning champion Rochester, and Steel FC sits at 2-2 with FC Cincinnati, who is also in action against Toronto FC2. Delighted to have you with us this afternoon with former Union player Matt Castle. I'm Dave Leto. Steel FC had a midweek friendly against Lehigh University. Victorious in that matchup, also had a stellar performance against Richmond last week.
It was great to see Steel FC get that victory last week here at Goodman Stadium in front of the home fans, get that pressure off their back early on to the season. So let's see how they can build off that today.
Another tough task for Steel FC with Charleston coming to town, headlined by Romario Williams.
Romario Williams is definitely a tricky, dangerous forward, so we have to keep our eye on him today. He has 3 goals on the season already, so let's see how we can contain him today.
Steel FC, exceptional work out of the midfield, and they got a goal from Derek Jones, his first professional goal last week.
Derek Jones looked very strong last week. He got himself a great goal, but he also kept the game simple, which benefited him throughout the whole game. Let's see him do that again today.
First of 2 regular season meetings between Steel FC and the Battery. Starting lineups and the kickoff from Goodman are coming up next. Back at Goodman Stadium as we are getting set for the kickoff between Bethlehem Steel FC at 2-2 against the Charleston Battery at 2-1-1. There's the procession. The players are on the field, and we're getting set for the national anthem.
Can you see by the dawn's
Terrific crowd on hand for Steel FC against the Battery. And now it's time for the starting lineups, brought to you by Lehigh Valley Health Network, the official healthcare provider of Bethlehem Steel FC. First for the Battery, Otis Nell Cooper is in goal for Alex Tambakis. Charleston's defense is anchored by center backs Sean Ferguson and Taylor Mueller, and Quentin Griffith is starting for Emmanuel Ajeti. Meanwhile, for Bethlehem, Herbers, Fernandez, and Restrepo rejoined Steel FC after being previously loaned by the Philadelphia Union. Anderson has been on the 18 with the first team, but will be making his first start for Steel FC. And they are led by Brendan Burke, who now will be working with his fifth straight different starting lineup, but training adjacent to the first team in Chester should help when it comes to the cohesion. On the opposite bench, Michael Anheuser wants a better performance than the Charlotte tussle last week. He said his Battery got caught by the Independent's physical play and urges his club to get back to the basics after a few defensive miscues. We're also joined by the third member of our broadcast team. We say good afternoon to Gwen Begley.
Thanks, guys. Now, as we saw, they had a great win here last week on Sunday against the Richmond Kickers. Now, this week at practice, I talked to Brendan Burke around Wednesday when they had their scrimmage against Lehigh University. He said, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So they're working on a lot of the same things that they worked on the week prior in practice: defense, cleaning up long balls. So we're going to see a lot of the same energy that we saw last week. They're another veteran team that they hope to build, learn from. They had their scrimmage against Lehigh University, so they were able to get a lot of the Union Academy guys in there. So Brendan Burke said he's super proud of those guys. He's glad that he got them a chance to play, and that for this game, he's again looking forward to having these guys learn from the experience of the veteran team. So we're going to see a lot of the same energy that we saw on Sunday.
Thank you very much, Gwen. Steel FC is in the midst of a 3-game homestand, 3 of the next 4 at home. Matt, as you dive into your keys to the game.
Yeah, consistency first right off the bat. Steel FC need to put 2 victories together at home. That starts with being consistent in their overall play. And then we're going to jump into pressure. They need to high press early and stay together. Charleston was a little shaky last week in the back, so let's put them under pressure again early.
Battery in the road neon uniform, Steel FC in the home blue jerseys, and we're underway on a picture-perfect day from Goodman Stadium. Trusty with the first touch to Restrepo. Ferguson and Mueller command that lethal center back spot. An opportunity in this matchup for Charleston to do better when it comes to their defensive third. And Akinyode will switch the point of attack to Taylor Washington. This portion of the match is brought to you by Lehigh Valley Health Network, proud to be the official healthcare provider of Bethlehem Steel FC. And a throw here for the Battery, coming off their first loss of the season at Charlotte. They did get 2 goals by Williams and Portillo, and Williams, a player that we'll be looking out for. He'll be playing up top today. He's a player that scored in every game but one this year.
Mario Williams is definitely somebody that we're going to have to keep our eye on tonight, or today, I should say. He's dangerous, he's quick, he's strong. He just finds himself in the right spots at the right time.
Chance for Jones. Ferguson dueling with him on the near flank. Advantage will stay here in the attacking third for Steel FC, coming off a terrific first win at home, a 2-1 performance against one of the more experienced clubs in the league, the Richmond Kickers.
Here we go, Dave. Here comes our lovely long throws that we love.
It's the captain, Richter, middle of the box. Ayuk. And Eric Ayuk has been a player that Steel FC has relied on, Matt. 2 goals this year.
He's definitely dangerous. Last week we saw him playing a different position underneath the forward. But today he's back out to his wide position, and let's see, we want to see him going at players, creating, havoc in that back line. So let's see if he can do that again today.
Walter Restrepo back with Steel FC, last on the Union 18 April 8th in the 2-1 victory against Orlando City SC. So a few changes for the Battery in this matchup, with a Jetty not playing that left back position. Woodbine instead goes there on the right. It's Quentin Griffith. And also keep in mind a new keeper in Odisnell Cooper, who was the #1 last year for the Battery. A chance here for Portillo, working side by side with Romario Williams. There will be a restart upcoming here for Charleston.
It's a little interesting there. Guy got tangled up, running for the ball. Not exactly sure who pulled him down there, but the referee, calls a foul. Didn't call a foul in the initial play when he won the ball. Now he called a foul, trailing the play.
Here's Justin Portillo on the restart. They stack the box, trying to invade McCarthy's wheelhouse. There's the bender headed out by Anderson to Restrepo. And Restrepo will opt to counter. To Ayuk. Ayuk's got some space on that far flank with Griffith all over him. Has a pace in front of him. Ayuk with the cross. An opportunity still for Ryan Richter with the service in the box, headed away Ferguson.
Good to see the early pressure so far here with Steel FC. They need to keep that going. They started last week. It was a big emphasis of, how, pressuring together and quick and keeping, last week Richmond on the back line, and now we need to see them do that again here at Charleston. A little bit shaky last week. They had a tough one against Charlotte. So now let's see if we can keep them on their toes here early on. Dave, we should look today to see, Anderson trying to compose that back line early.
Through ball for Williams, he's offside. And they'll be looking up top with Williams and Tula Guerra all game long.
Yeah, it's important too that Anderson and Anderson needs to, help with Trusty there, to keep him going and give him that veteran experience.
7 players in total on loan from the Union. Nice to see Herbers getting back in along with Restrepo and Leo Furnace on the 18 today. Good ball here by Anderson. Restrepo with the cross. Cooper getting tested for the first time. Ayuk's there. Nifty work by him. There's Mueller. Over to Griffith.
It's good for Anderson to pick his head up and spray that 60-yard ball in behind the line. Let Walter Restrepo get on the end of it and get a good little ball in there, cause a little havoc.
A little bit different here for Eric Ayuk, who last week, Matt, was playing in the spot where Leo Fernandez was behind Sekou Kone.
Yeah, definitely different today, different role Ayuk, but something that he's used to. He's normally an outside guy that with his speed likes to go at guys. Now Leo's a little bit more of a guy, a little bit more of a playmaker in a way. Very composed and skillful on the ball. Likes to keep the ball moving, so let's see him do that.
And you see 2 Steel FC players in Akinyode and Washington marking Williams, and that's got to be part of the scouting report. Here are the officials. Jaime Herrera is the referee. The ARs, Brandon Smith, Dustin Killick. The 4th official, Jerry Varell. Restart here for Charleston. It's Griffith with the service, looking for Williams. Trusty had better positioning on him.
He's a big boy, strong. He's a true number 9. Looks to hold the ball up, can lay it off. Can turn, can get a shot on goal. He's very dangerous and tricky. Looks like he got a little bit banged up here. Maybe a little bit, elbow or something to the head. But I'm sure he'll just wipe that off real quick and it'll be okay.
That is Romario Williams, standout at UCF on loan from the Montreal Impact. In fact, he was the 3rd overall pick of the 2015 MLS draft. And nice to see him getting some time in the USL with Charleston. He has been a spark plug, especially going down for the injured Cordovez. Richter working with Anderson on the right flank. Trusty had a nice game as well last week against the Richmond Kickers. Looks for Washington, playing up high out of his left back spot. And a throw here for Bethlehem. Good flick by Leo Fernandez. Jones with Akinyode. Off of Restrepo. Opportunity here for Charleston and O.B. Woodbine.
I think it's important early on for Steel FC to, it's okay to, dink balls in over the top a little bit and, keep that ball in their side, in their front third and get it off your heels early on. You're caught up with a little foul here. So it's important that you got your matchups correct here on an important set piece. There you go, Mario Williams battling down there with Anderson. A little strong, just pulls him down, a little slip there. Now we got a big set piece.
Justin Portillo and Michael Chang. Chang back in the lineup after an injured ankle injury. It's Portillo. Good bender, headed out. Top of the box, knocked down Washington. Cleared away Anderson to Ayuk. Griffith keeps it on this half of the field. Akinyode. Good long ball to Restrepo.
It's a great ball by Bolu there. Pick out Restrepo, get him out of pressure. Restrepo tries to go out here a little bit too quick. Not many options. There's a little bit too much on the ball. He's got to move the ball quicker.
It was a terrific tackle by the Battery captain, Sean Ferguson. Foul here on Anderson.
Anderson needs to be careful here. He's got a couple fouls early. The referee, I'm sure, notices that as well. Williams gets the ball, tries to dribble at him, beats him. Anderson reaches in, draws a foul, so it's important there. Anderson needs it's a couple early fouls, so he's got to be careful.
Matt, look how many numbers are forward here for this set piece.
Set pieces are so critical. You gotta, man your mark up, strong. Don't get beat to the ball here. It's a tough spot here for you to whip a ball in. It's very dangerous. Get a little deflection or anything on it.
It's Chang with the left foot headed away. Derek Jones and a chance for Herbers on the far flank. Herbers jets past Chang. Good ball over to Restrepo. He'll catch it on the outside of the box. Restrepo with the cross has Jones high of the crossbar of Cooper's cage.
That's great work by Steel FC. Restrepo finds the ball. Fabian Herbert gets the ball in there, finds the ball out wide into Restrepo, picks his head up, finds a nice ball. Top of the box to Jones. He's got to do better with that. Top of the box to something. Just get it on ball. Get it on the goal. Get your head over the ball. You've got to get it on goal. Make the goalkeeper do something with it. Give yourself a chance.
Chang up ahead. Williams. Trusty, the academy player in the Union system. Nice work there to derail Williams. Cleared away. Taylor Mueller throw for Steel FC. Check that Charleston will get it on the far flank. Washington tries to get it up to Leo Fernandez working with Ayuk. Washington, Herbers, Marini, nice work in the middle half of the field. Portillo finds Dante Marini. Over to Griffith.
Marini's a local kid out here. Gotta look for, I'm sure he's got a ton of fans out here. He's excited to get his first start of the season.
Anderson didn't get a header on that. Instead, it's Chang that deflected off of Akinyode, and there's McCarthy, who started every game for Steel FC. Has allowed 7 goals this year, 14 saves, and carries a 1.75 goals against average. He did look good last week against Udai Imora, Brian Onby, and Richmond. Fernandez has space, good through ball, knocked down. Nice work, Taylor Mueller in his 5th year with the Battery. It's a foul on Williams as Trusty goes to the grass.
Trusty and Anderson are both going to have their hands full there. Romario Williams, he's going to be somebody that's, big, he's strong like we talked about early. He's going to be that nagging forward that, wants to create something. He's going to try and do everything he possibly can to get his hands on there.
So another new back line, and have to see some more connected passes from Anderson and Trusty on the miscue right there. Trusty again, and another opportunity here for the Battery. As I mentioned, 4 of the next 5 are away from MUSC Health Stadium. Nike is a proud partner of the USL. Follow at Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike soccer information. 15th minute for the Battery, headed away Trusty.
A decent amount of fouls early on here. Guys are, slipping and sliding and moving in and out. Here goes another ball, bounces a little by. I don't know if it's I don't know if I'd quite call that one right there. It looked more, somebody looks like he slipped a little bit, but hey, it's the referee's decision. Like to see, Steel FC keep the ball here, stay composed, let the ball do the work. It's a beautiful day. Guys are going to want to be running all over the place. Just stay calm, composed. Things are going to open up for you. You're going to have your opportunities, just about taking them.
Composure very poised last week against Richmond, especially in tight spaces. And when they were getting pressured with the high press from the kickers, Brendan Burke said that his team was doing exceptional work. Chang plays that into McCarthy. And McCarthy will quickly counter on the far flank with Ayuk. Griffith steps up, gets it to Marini. Marini around Washington. Trusty now 1v1 on him. Marini finds Guerra. There's Derek Jones out of that center mid spot, playing 2 ways, box to box.
It's important to see Derek Jones, track the runner in there. That's what they want to see. They've been constantly working on their pressure. From the forwards to the midfield defenders, each having the line. So it's important, to see Derek Jones make that tracking run, keeping his eye on there.
Hey, Steel fans, don't forget to purchase your tickets as the Philadelphia Union hosts the San Jose Earthquakes on April 30th at 4 p.m. Visit PhiladelphiaUnion.com for more information.
As you just saw there, that's Derek Jones tracking his runner there. No problem at all.
McCarthy has been spot on when it comes to communication, and another daunting task with Anderson coming in, but he does train with him, part of the first team. In fact, all the loanees from Philadelphia Union train with the first team, even though they start here for Steel FC. Chang. That's too far ahead of Mario Williams off the left foot of Obi Woodbine. Charleston, a club that prides itself on its defense, but last week did struggle at Charlotte, twice setting up goals with mental errors immediately after quality takeaways. Restrepo, good flick. Still alive here for Woodbine, has to go to Cooper and clears.
So I like to see out of Walter Restrepo there, being a little dangerous, creating little things. He likes to go forward. He can create, he's quick, he's dangerous, so it's good to see early.
Long throw, the captain Richter, center of the box. Restrepo finds Richter. Bender in the box, Herbers went up. Headed away, Guerra, call against Steel FC on Herbers.
Great ball in there by Ryan Richter. Yeah, it's a tough 50-50 battle in there, I'm okay with that. By Herbers, not the end of the world there. He creates a foul, that's good. Showing he's going to be a little bit dangerous, it's good. We'd like to see out of a center forward.
Restrepo last with Steel FC in the home opener, the loss to FC Cincinnati. But Matt, I recall in that matchup, he was playing on the left flank. And there were some beautiful services by Walter Restrepo, who last played with the New York Cosmos.
He's very quick, he's dangerous. When you can go at somebody, it's the fullbacks, nightmare. You don't want to see somebody such blistering pace going at you like that. Now it's just about making him the complete player. You know, he's got to work on his defensive game. He's got to track his runners, help the fullbacks, help the other midfielders tucking in. We need to see a complete game out of him on both sides of the ball.
Handball there on Fabian Herbers, number 6 overall pick out of Creighton. There's the restart by Obi Woodbine. Finds Williams. Guerra is up ahead for Woodbine. Tries to receive this. Richter 1v1 on Guerra. Guerra through ball. Knocked away. McCarthy. Richter just has to clear as Romario Williams was penetrating the 6.
Dangerous opportunity there. Good little ball into Williams. Finds himself a little, nifty run there. Finds himself. John McCarthy comes up big and makes a big save.
Matt, that's the two-headed monster in Guerra and Williams. So the 4 backs for Steel FC must pin them. Corner, Portillo. Headed away, Anderson. Portillo knocked away Restrepo. Second quarter here for Charleston.
Good little ball in there by Portillo. Got to watch him for it again. You got to track your runners here. Be strong in the box. Mark them. Don't let them get anything here. Just even you got to jump with a little. That's okay.
Portillo's second service opts to go far post. Beautiful work by Washington on the aerial with Atula Guerra.
Even if you jump up in the ball, you don't necessarily have to win it right away. You just need to be there to make it hard on the forward, make it hard on the opposing player to win that ball. So it's good to see there.
McCarthy was once being blinded there by Neville Hackshaw in his first year out of Trinidad and Tobago. There's multiple players on the battery who have played for their nations. One of the more experienced clubs in USL. Header 1 there by Taylor Mueller. Akinyote over to Restrepo. 1v1 with Woodbine. Chang can't stop him. Herbers back to Restrepo. Tackle by Guerra is clean, says Jaime Herrera.
Nifty bright uniforms over here, huh? Charleston Battery. Pretty fitting for summer.
I like them. Nice alternate look by Charleston. Usually wears the black and yellow jerseys. Herbers flick. Gets it back from Restrepo. Desperately cleared away by the captain, Ferguson. And Ayuk 1v1 on the far flank with Griffith. So Quentin Griffith last game at Charlotte, Matt, was playing in the right mid position, 24 years old, out of Antigua.
It's nice to see players that are versatile, can play all sorts of different positions. You should be. I mean, as a professional soccer player, you should be a complete player like we just talked about earlier. You need to be able to play on both sides of the ball, defensively and offside, and offensively.
Marini with the step on Washington. Dante Marini with the cross.
Nifty little, I don't know if you'd really, I'm sure he's trying to cross it, but it looked a little bit more of like a shot in a way. Tried to find Williams. He gets a little thing there, lifts it to the back post. Just a little bit too much. Not a bad idea there.
You see the captain, Ryan Richter, recognizing the dominance of Romario Williams. One game he did not score was against Orlando City B, a scoreless draw. McCarthy's goal kick. Herbers wins it in the air. Flicked by Guerra to his comrade Williams. More touch there from Richter. Throw Charleston. East End Army out here on a beautiful afternoon here in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Dave Leno, Matt Castle, Gwen Begley, our entire TV2 Sports crew. Great to have you with us from Goodman Stadium. Restart here for Charleston and Obi Woodbine.
play short than what he's wanting to do there. Now he's going to drift it a little bit long here. That seems to be what they want to do, is find, Williams and Guerra up top, big boys that can flick the ball on, hold it, turn and create a little something.
Mike Anheuser, Matt, makes no bones about it in his 12th year as the head coach. They will play through Mario Williams, who headlines the club with 8 shots so far. Here's a throw up coming from Woodbine, currently a member of the Jamaican national team. Long throw, center, headed away, Trusty.
Tell you what, Woodbine can throw the ball. That thing is dangerous. It's like a free kick.
Offside the call, chance here for Steel FC to counter. A lot of time is being spent, though, Matt, on this half of the field, the defensive part for Steel FC.
It's just important, it's early in the game. You need to play safe early. I know it's 25 minutes into the game now. Guys are starting to get the legs ready and realizing how the game's going to be. I would say it's a little bit back and forth. It's not too much dominance right now, but things will come. It's important just to keep the possession like they're doing right now, and just let the ball do the work.
Keep up to date with the USL all season long by visiting the new USLsoccer.com for everything you need to know about the USL. There's Taylor Mueller. Played at the University of Washington from 2007 to 2010. Actually one of 2 Americans in the starting lineup, along with the captain Ferguson. Williams with a back heel flick over to Woodbine from his left back position. A step on Restrepo with the cross. Looking for Portillo. Cleared away. Derek Jones. Herbers can't win it in the air over Ferguson. He's offside.
Herbers needs to be a little bit smarter there. You know the ball's in the opposite side of the field, but you need to be positioned correctly. You can't be offside and on a little clear like that to try to spring the attack.
Restrepo beating Portillo. Good through ball, but wasn't on the same frequency with Herbers, who was going out wide. So Otis Nell Cooper in goal instead of Alex Tambakis, who's on loan from Atlanta United FC, will be making their MLS debut next year. The Battery opting to go for a change and brings in Cooper from Cuba. He's been with the club since 2013, making his 69th appearance, first this year in goal. Jones connects beautifully. 1-2-3 touch. Fernandez to Herbers. And Fabian Herbers finds Richter.
Good little combinations in here early. It's okay, just keep the ball. Things are going to open up again. Now switch point of attack. That's good work there by Steel FC.
Far flank to Washington. Has Ayuk ahead.
Again, it's not about forcing things in the final third. Things are going to open up to you. Yeah, you want to be a little bit direct. You want to, create an opportunity. But if it's not there, it's not there. It's okay. Swing it around and maybe get it on the other side.
The spacing from Steel FC, Matt, has been impeccable.
It's good to see early here. This is, I'm sure, what they've been working on in practice, along with the defensive pressure. But on the offensive side of things, this is what they want to see. Let the ball do the work. Keep it moving.
Mueller clears it away from his own box. Washington. Anderson. To Fernandez. Over to Richter.
There's nothing like being a defender and just want to constantly chase.
Fabian Herbers. Knocked down by Neville Hackshaw. No call. And Cooper gobbles it up. Midfield last week for Charleston. Had a wake-up call, Matt, after being outplayed in the first half. Guerra and company need to do better today. Charlotte outshot Charleston 10-1 in the first 45, but the Battery outshot the Jacks 11-8 in the second half.
I'm I'm sure the Charleston coaching staff had a word with them this week about how they started, how they came out in the first half. Definitely didn't want to see that again on the road here in the first 30 minutes or so of the game. So, so far they looked pretty good.
Getting Chang back. Hackshaw's been in there along with Portillo, so some consistency. Despite the plethora of injuries this year, in fact, needed a few academy players to fill the roster against the Independents. Good touch by Akinyode. Herbers off of Woodbine. Throw Restrepo into Fernandez. Restrepo, good touch to Leo.
Probably want to drive that ball a little bit more, a little bit of a loft, but it's a good look from him. They need to change the field. Something else going to open up for him. It's good to see.
Chance here for Williams. 1v1 with Jones. Akinyode. The trustee heads it back to McCarthy. Defense looks to be on point, though.
Yeah, it's important that everybody is together. They've constantly been, emphasizing what they've been working on throughout the season, especially the last couple weeks, is the defensive pressure and everybody going together, everybody knowing their role, everybody knowing what, when to step, when to drop, or, what to do really. So it's good to see, last week that was a good start, and now it's again seeing so far this week.
Bethlehem Steel FC inaugural season ticket plans are on sale starting at $50. Lock in your season ticket plan now at BethlehemSteelFC.com. Chang finds for Portillo, looking for Marini. Washington with a blaze of speed. Can't win it. Throw here for the battery. And Marini. Portillo with a back flick. Griffith. Ayuk with a good tackle.
This is what Eric Ayuk does so well. Call here against Quentin Griffith. Chance here for Steel FC.
It's good to see Eric Ayuk getting back on the defensive play. Putting that pressure like we talked about earlier, winning the ball. Both players looked like slipped, maybe came down a little foul there. But it's great work to see Eric Ayuk do that, little dirty work, you could say. He's been so dangerous going forward, but it's also good to see him on the defensive side of the ball.
Washington, the set piece. Fernandez keeps it in on the end line. 1v1 with Mueller. Fernandez with the cross. The bender. Restrepo can't get it. Restrepo with Akinyode. This could be a card on Obi Woodbine, and he will be assessed a yellow by Jaime Herrera in the 33rd minute.
It's good to see, though, right there by Richter. He's being smart, doesn't have to whip a ball right in, right at the bat. He's calm on the ball, finds Restrepo. Restrepo plays the ball, gets a little knocked right into the face there. Referee says, let's have none of that. Nice early yellow card here in the 33rd minute. Now he sets herself up. Steel FC is going to have a good opportunity here if they can whip a ball in, beat that first guy, and create something. Make sure the runners are crashing the box early.
Steel FC athletic trainer Yassine Khan tending to Walter Restrepo. East End Army giving a hand here to Walter.
I think he just wanted a little bit of a quick little water break, huh? Nice early. No, it's good work there by Walter. Got knocked in the face a little bit.
As you mentioned, a golden opportunity for Steel FC on the set piece. Richter around the ball with Fernandez.
Leo to Richter. Herbers couldn't get it inside the box. Counter here, Charleston. Portillo on the near flank. Marini, a bad for Portillo, but he wasn't on the same page with Obi Woodbine.
They've been working on you can tell they're working on a set piece play there. Didn't quite pull off, but the last thing as a coaching staff that you want, Brendan Burke, I'm sure, does not want to get countered off your own set piece. That could be something dangerous. They need to be a little bit more organized there in the back.
Handball here on Charleston's Williams. And when it comes to set pieces, especially with different personnel, you take first-team guys, Steel FC signees, and academy players, that's got to be rather difficult to showcase.
For sure, but I'm also, I'm sure throughout the week and whatnot, everybody's kind of, Ernie Stewart's whole objective here by coming here is to want everybody on the same page, all the way from the academy to the USL squad here and, Steel FC and up to the first team. So I'm sure they want to emphasize the same sort of, even going all the way to the set pieces. They want everything to be the same. So I'm sure there's somewhat a little bit of a chemistry there. I'm sure Jim Curtin and Brendan Burke have spoke about what kind of set plays they want to do, and they tried to do one there early, but it didn't quite get pulled off.
Head coach for Steel FC, Brendan Burke. Jeff Cook as assistant, along with Steve Hogan, constantly remind ourselves and fans that they are playing with first team principles. They're training side by side with the Union first team. Chance here, Guerra. Swings around Richter with the shot, just wide of McCarthy.
It's a great little play there. They win the ball like we talked about. They're holding the ball up and they're laying it off. Guerra runs through nicely. Gets a great strike, just misses the goal, hits it very well. Great strike by him, just missed it. But that's what we're talking about. We're talking about how, Williams and Guerra are up top and, doing the work for each other, really, helping each other out, flicking things on, holding the balls up and laying it off, and that's what we just saw right there. It's dangerous. I think that was, their fifth shot on goal.
+4 advantage for the Battery.
Let's take that back. I don't think it was shots on goal, just shots in general.
Yep. Jones finds Richter. Strepo back in after getting banged up just a bit. Throw here for the captain, Richter, whose fitness level has been sensational according to the coaching staff, and versatile from a positional standpoint. Spent time playing out of the midfield early on in his career. Now is a right back with Steel FC. Washington up ahead for Herbers. 1v1 with Mueller. Fabian, top of the box. Instead, it's Michael Chang, back from an ankle injury. Good ball to Woodbine.
It's a little soft there. He was baiting that foul. He wanted that foul. Got touched, baited right in there. Takes a little touch. Walter's running back. Little stutter stop and go. Runs right over him. It's a foul, but it's tough.
Guerra, 1v1 with Trusty. Trusty won it in the air on the 50-50. Herbers. Instead, it's Ferguson back to Cooper. Here's the captain, Sean Ferguson. Header won by Richter. Oluwakinyode switches the point of attack to Taylor Washington. And just how important is it for a coaching staff? When you talk about spacing, what exactly should fans be paying attention to?
Just about how, knowing, really reading the game, where you can help each other out, especially on the defensive side of things. You need a couple options. You can't have one or two. You need more than one or two options at all times.
Throw here for Charleston in their attacking third. Woodbine. Knocked down by Restrepo. Another corner here for the Battery.
It's another dangerous play, or not dangerous play, but dangerous opportunity here for Tio to whip another ball, and he's been whipping good balls in all game so far. stay with the marks here.
Third quarter here for Charleston. The 39th minute, Portillo's service. Knocked out Akinyode in front of McCarthy. Fourth quarter upcoming. Neville Heckshaw impeding the space of John McCarthy, the keeper for Steel FC. Portillo yet again, the in-swinger. Pinballs around, Anderson wins it into the air. And a foul against Charleston. Culprit is Michael Chang.
Good work there so far by Steele, winning those balls, early balls in, not making anything too dangerous for Charleston on these corners. But you have to be together and talk to each other. Everything's about communication.
How would you like to have your group or team walk out with the starting 11, high-five your Steel players before warm-ups or play on the field at halftime of a Bethlehem Steel FC game? You do all that and more through a Steel Group experience. Call 844-STEEL-FC for more information. Fabian Herbers tried to find Leo Fernandez. Ferguson had better positioning on him at the top of the box. Chang looking for Williams, been quiet in the last few minutes. Richter finds Walter Restrepo. Fernandez, good tackle, will be Woodbine.
Important here in the last 5 minutes to maybe, make sure you're staying together defensively, but offensively, try and get something. Haven't been too many shots on goal. Let's see if you can get a shot on goal and test Cooper.
Portillo working in conjunction with Griffith. Ayuk, another tackle, keeps it alive for Steel FC. Griffith wins it. Ayuk so dangerous, especially when it comes to his tackling and that high pressure. He did that last week beautifully against the Richmond Kickers, albeit not up high. Sekone, Gabe Gise were a little bit higher as Richter is tussling with Neville Heckshaw.
Tussle there. Smack to the face. Looks like he pokes him in the eye or something there. I don't know about that. A little nasty play there. There you go. Reaches around, clicks it right in. Hits him right in the eye. To me, I think that's an easy yellow card. No reason for that. No need for it.
Great look by our TV2 Sports crew. 42nd minute. Chance for the battery. Trusty does well. Herbers, Jones, Fernandez. It's good work by Austin Trusty, as Marini was running on that right flank in case the through ball delivered.
It's a big play there, big stop. Otherwise they were breaking through. Great tackle by the young kid.
It's the small things, Matt, that Steel FC is executing today. Ayuk.
Getting a little chippy here in the last 5 minutes. Guys got to keep their heads together. Nothing stupid before the half.
Restrepo has space, top of the box. Herbers look for Restrepo. Instead, it's Ferguson.
It's good to see, though, Walter Restrepo is trying to make some combinations and whatnot to break the guys down, get in between there. So that's great to see.
And Romario Williams goes down yet again. Second time he has gone down.
I don't exactly know what happened there. Something previously, but it didn't look like much. Here's a replay here. Might get a little, gets jumping up a little bit. Might have got knocked by Jones in the head, but doesn't seem too much. Maybe a little something. I'm sure we can shake that off and be okay there.
Charleston did not play as physical as Charlotte did last week. So you're seeing a little bit of aggression from the Battery today. A multitude of fouls in this matchup. And Steel FC, very important for Brendan Burke's club, Matt, to match that physicality.
Definitely important that, they got to, be up to the task. I'm sure, the Charleston coaching staff were up in the ears of all the players. Be a little bit tougher, be a little bit more of a feistiness to them. So, but again, it's important that, Steel FC respond to that and act appropriately as well. But don't be stupid. You don't need a stupid little foul. You don't need to pick up, a stupid little card that, hurts your team. Really.
Discipline is a huge key. In fact, even for the first team in the Philadelphia Union, who twice have played with a man down this year. As Craval suspended for a game, and Roland Olberg last game as well. Nice to see Philadelphia with the win at home against New York City FC.
I guess, like we were talking about earlier, it's what they want to see, from the first team to the down here, because we had the same thing. Bolu got, 2 yellows and 1 non, and James Chambers, so they got 2 and 2 here. I guess it's a little chess match of who can get more this season.
That's right. Akinyoti couldn't play. And New York Red Bulls too, where he once donned the uniform. And Chambers has been coming off the bench. 1 minute of stoppage time. Foul on Richter. Set piece upcoming here for Charleston.
Stay together here. This is a dangerous set piece here. A little less than a minute left. Gonna whip a ball in. Playing short.
Woodbine with the cross. McCarthy with his left hand swats it away from Taylor Mueller. Trusty clears.
You always have to keep your eye on the ball. Can't turn your back. You get beat short like that, that could have been a little bit more dangerous than it was. So you got to always be paying attention, especially the last minute here. You can't take any breaks.
Portillo. Hackshaw. Marini cut off by Washington. Mueller side by side with Sean Ferguson.
Good at it, staying together here.
Guerra can't win the aerial over Anderson, over Marini. Neville Hackshaw, 1v1, Ayuk with a tackle and a beautiful ball to Restrepo. Restrepo jets past Woodbine with the cross. Ayuk is there, just wide of Cooper.
That's a good little play early on. Ayuk wins the ball, springs to the attack here. He finds himself, but just slips a little bit. He's got to do a little bit better than that. Restrepo picks the ball up, finds Ayuk. It's a tough challenge there. Just hits the ball at the outside of the foot there.
And with that, first half is in the books. Stellar performance by both clubs.
It was a good little, back and forth and whatnot. So it was good to see.
Gwen Begley now joined by Brendan Burke. Gwen.
Thanks, guys. Now, not a lot of chances in the first half here. What are you looking to see in the second half from your team?
Well, I think if we keep at it, we were in their end quite a bit, but we didn't play at a high enough tempo. I think if we can increase the tempo and just use each other and connect, I think we'll be in good shape.
What are some positives you saw in this first half here?
I think our energy level was pretty good. I think it can be raised just a little bit. I think we're settling into a difficult game against a good opponent.
Great. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you very much, Gwen and Brendan Burke. A clean sheet between Steel FC and the Charleston Battery, both clubs searching for their third win on the USL season. Our halftime report from Goodman Stadium will commence on the other side.
Here at the break, it's a clean sheet between Bethlehem Steel FC and the Charleston Battery. Welcome back to the booth with former Union player Matt Castle. I'm Dave Leno. A very physical game in the first 45. Matt, your thoughts on the first stanza?
It was, just like you said, it's very physical. Got a little chippy at the end there. A couple, pushes to the face and whatnot. But a little bit sloppy play, nothing too crazy, not too many, dangerous chances, nothing too much to really report on that side of things. So I think, like Brendan Burke said, the energy wasn't quite there. It was good enough, but it could be raised a little bit better. So let's look to see that here in the second half.
Let's take a look at the Charleston chances. They were aplenty, and they tried to get Romario Williams going early.
Yeah, they look for Romario Williams early. He slips in the side there. It's a great little nifty run there, but John McCarthy comes up huge.
Here's Portillo on the set piece, and it goes wide on the far flank in that box again, and they worked with Guerra.
This was important to see that, what they've been trying to do all game. Romario Williams holds the ball up, looks to get behind there, and Guerra gets a nice strike on goal, or just misses on goal.
Woodbine with the service here, goes to the back post, looking for Dante Marini, who's making his first start. And meanwhile, for Bethlehem Steel FC, they were getting Walter Restrepo going early on.
And they did just like that. As you see him getting in behind, flips a nice little nifty ball in there, tries to find Ayuk, just misses him. And Fabian Herbers here gets the ball, cuts in middle, swings the ball out wide again, finds Restrepo. Picks his head up, finds a great ball in here. Jones, he's got to do better with this. Got to get the ball on goal. Make the keeper do something. Gets just over and just pushes it over. He's got to get that ball on goal. It's a great chance there.
Jones had his first goal last week. Restrepo 1v1 again as Cooper is in net for the first time for Tambakis. And another cross inside the box, headed away by Mueller.
And Restrepo gets the ball, he comes out wide, takes a good touch in, cuts across the box, finds Ayuk, and Ayuk just reaches for the ball and just misses. Got to do a little bit better than that touch, get the ball on goal. Got to make Cooper create something, give him something.
That's the story so far here through one half of play. Well, first half stats when we return to Goodman Stadium. here in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Clean sheet here at the break between Steel FC and the Battery. And back with former Union player Matt Castle. I'm Dave Leno. Matt, what have you made with the attack from Steel FC? Ayuk playing on that far left flank, Restrepo on the right.
They've been very dangerous and going forward. That's their, that's their biggest strength is going at it, going at that back line. Both of them got tremendous pace, very dangerous and whatnot. Now it's just about working on, the complete game, getting back on the defensive side of things, which Ayuk has done, and we're seeing a little bit more of Restrepo as well.
However, the discrepancy falls in the quarter kick category as we take a look at the first half stats. Charleston Battery have put up 4 corners in this matchup, none so far for Steel FC.
Yeah, they had a couple good chances, on the corner kicks of whipping the ball in. Nothing too dangerous. As we've talked about earlier, it's been a little chippy game here. You see 10 fouls for Bethlehem Steel and then 7 for Charleston. So it's a little bit of a chippy game, but we'll see what happens in the second half.
But at times, both keepers, McCarthy and Cooper, were tested despite the clean sheet. Steel FC and the Charleston Battery will look to regroup in the locker room. The second half from Goodman Stadium is coming up next.
Ready for the start of the second half here from Goodman Stadium. Williams in the Charleston Battery against Bethlehem Steel FC. Steel FC looking for its second consecutive win. No changes from either squad. Fernandez finds Ayuk. Griffith looking from Williams to Portillo and Marini on the near side. Matt, your second half adjustments.
I would say basically, like Coach Brendan Burke said earlier, the energy needs to raise a little bit and create a little bit more chances. Test Cooper, get some shots on goal. Make him do a little bit more. Give yourself an opportunity to get a goal or two. So if you look for that, just continue to keep the ball and don't do anything crazy. You might get a little chippy, but you got to keep discipline, keep your head in the game. Really, don't do anything stupid.
Chang spins around Herbers. Williams on that far left flank. Guerra is pinched back a little bit deeper. Restrepo. Through ball. Looks for Richter. And a goal kick here for Charleston.
We have to also be aware of, the hold-up play there from Mario Williams and, getting on to the end of those things.
So Forrest Lasso back in the lineup. Majetti is also reserved for the Charleston Battery. And they just signed Chris Sonis. Played with the New York Red Bulls. Here's the available reserves for Steel FC. Lucchini had a terrific performance against Lehigh in the friendly during the week. Kone, Missimo, Daly, and Chambers also around. Portillo. Michael Chang 1v1 with Ryan Richter. Fabian Herbers finds Derek Jones. Restrepo.
Good patience right now. It's keeping the ball moving, swinging from side to side. Let everybody get a little touch here. Play 1-2 touch. Get it off your foot. It's good work. Eventually going to break them down. You get something.
Woodbine goes all the way back to Otis Nell Cooper making his first start this year. He was the #1 keeper last year for the Battery. Head coach Mike Anheuser. Trusty can't clear that away. Instead, it's Taylor Washington. The hit to Eric Ayuk. Last time Steel FC did not register a corner in one half of play was the matchup at home against FC Cincinnati in that loss.
Impressive stats we got up here.
Thanks to our man Carl Graber here with us in the booth. Also Chris keeping us at bay as well. Portillo. Chang. Back to Justin Portillo. Looking for a through ball and a service into Guerra and Williams.
Both sides are, keeping possession of the ball, not forcing anything.
Long ball, Mueller.
Just as I say that, it happened. Trusty played a ball back just when I'm saying that. Now Charleston's playing the ball, it's like that. It's, I guess that is the announcer's curse there.
I'll tell you what, though, you accurately described it because we haven't seen too many long balls or direct balls from Mueller. Herbers tried to flick that ahead to Eric Ayuk. Griffith was there instead. Marini tackled by Jones. Good combination. Fernandez from Washington. Hackshaw. Finds Guerra. Guerra was playing really up high. along with Romario Williams, but instead has pinched back a little bit.
I think that starts with what we talked about. The whole game seems to be is, Charleston wants, Romario Williams to hold up that ball and get runners in behind and flick things on and whatnot. So I think that's really what they're looking for. So I want to draw him deeper and then let him, build up some feet and get behind.
Herbers flicks that to Ayuk, finds Leo Fernandez. Sidesteps around Portillo to Akinyote. Trusty had a good first half, along with Anderson, who's been on the 18 with the first team, but getting some minutes here in the USL. Hey, Steel FC fans, don't forget to purchase your tickets as the Philadelphia Union hosts the San Jose Earthquakes on April 30th at 4 p.m. Visit PhiladelphiaUnion.com for more information. Longest homestand for the Union at 3. Williams on the far flank, 1v1 with Richter. Captain can't win that. Appears to be the 5th quarter for the Battery.
And this is, looks like they're slowing the play a little bit here. Portillo's taking his time to get the ball. Second half here, guys, they're okay with, I guess lowering the pace a little bit. They have the ball. It's an important opportunity here. Let's see if he can whip a good ball in.
Portillo with the bender. Hackshaw went up. Washington clears. Still in play for Marini. Good positioning on Fabian Herber's throw. Charleston. Here's Quentin Griffith. Long throw. Tackle Ayuk yet again. He's had multiple in this game. Challenged by Portillo.
It's important that when the ball gets cleared, that everybody needs the whole team needs to step forward, get the line forward, get them higher. Can't be playing your whole end the whole time. Got to get the guys up.
Ayuk at times plays so high, but aids his backs when it comes to Charleston invading the box. Guerra with the back heel flick to Portillo. Good challenge, Bolu Akinyote. Justin Portillo. Opts for Hackshaw. Mueller working with Ferguson. Here's the captain from Rock Hill, South Carolina.
Been too much early on in the first 5 to 10 minutes here in the second half. Hasn't been too much opportunities or whatnot. So I guess in the locker room, both teams our coaches must have talked about staying disciplined, like we said, and keeping the game in front of you.
Trusty and Anderson give way to John McCarthy as Dante Marini from Tradsford, Pennsylvania was threatening. Guerra is down for Charleston. First season with the Battery.
Take a ball. Takes it right in the face. Take that, sir.
Yeah, that's gotta hurt.
Lost a couple brain cells on that one. Had plenty of them. Heading the ball is always fun.
I guess the adrenaline just makes up for it.
Yeah, that whole heading thing, actually, it's about the proper technique of where you head the ball, actually.
Hackshaw wins the aerial. Anderson keeps it alive for Steel FC. Jones, Akinyote, beautiful combination. Herbers, advantage ball. Referee says play on, good cross, Ayuk. Knocked away by Mueller. Washington, good touch. Herbers can't keep it in play. Goal kick. Jaime Herrera now assessing a yellow card. Excessive frustration there to Taylor Mueller.
That's good refereeing. That's good refereeing. Saw he got fouled, let him play on. Gets the ball, Ayuk gets the ball out wide, whips the ball in. Nothing too much, but at the end of the play, he goes back and awards a yellow card. That's definitely well deserved.
Second yellow assessed to the battery. They've been without Zach Prince in this game. In fact, he'll miss the next 2 games. He's a veteran midfielder in his 8th season with Charleston. So when it comes to physicality, Charleston wants to keep that against Steel FC and an abundance of first-team players. And on cue, Leo Fernandez. Jaime Herrera continues play with the advantage. Instead, it's Portillo opting to counter. Woodbine. Can't find Chang. That ball was far behind him.
Good possession here.
The connecting from Steel FC, though, Matt, has been terrific. And if you base that off of the previous performances, especially with the Richmond contest, even going before that in the 2 losses, they look to turn the page when it comes to that. And that's something that they're constantly working on in training, especially delivering in such tight spaces and a lack of real estate.
Unfortunate ball over the top. Trusty's good position. Gets bridged a little at the end there. Easy foul. Dave, back to your play. It's about, everything, it's all about options. Keeping your options open, having multiple options to keep possession of the ball, and not always forcing things. You don't always have to, just because you're in the final third doesn't mean you have to go and, whip it across one if nobody's in the box. Just be patient.
Fabian Herbers on the through ball, searching for Restrepo. It's Obi Woodbine. Portillo. Combination. Chang too far ahead of Guerra. Constantly working on those connecting passes in tight space, especially led by assistant coach Jeff Cook. Good long ball, Eric Ayuk. He's offside as he beat Taylor Mueller.
I think we can bring a little bit more, energy to this second half. It seems a little bit more slower and duller, and players are taking their time and whatnot. And, it starts a little bit. Ayuk tries to start it there, gets a little bit ahead of the, the back line, but that's okay. Test that back line, get in behind, create something.
Trusty and Anderson. Those center backs paying attention to Marini. Good tackle, Trusty. Ayuk helping out yet again. Richter wins the challenge on Hackshaw, finds Restrepo, and Richter up the right flank. Richter on a good through ball. Restrepo is onside. With his cross, searching for Leo Hernandez. Fernandez has it. Hackshaw helped that as well, and cleared by Ferguson.
Decent combination play. Richter and Restrepo out wide, gets in behind and whips a ball in there. Nothing too dangerous, but it's good to see you getting into that final attacking third.
Guerra. Over to Mueller. Once with the Portland Timbers. Ultimately did not sign with the club. 38th overall pick in the 2011 MLS supplemental draft. Here's Trusty. Herbers too far ahead of Taylor Washington. Very calm and poised unit in Steel FC against the Battery at home. Next week we'll welcome Louisville City. We're at the friendly confines of Goodman Stadium. Throw up coming here for Charleston. Hackshaw dropping back. Go to Ferguson. Chang. Restrepo does well. Restrepo through ball, knocked down. Good play, Obi Woodbine.
It's good to see Restrepo getting in the right spots there, winning the balls. Now here he comes again, going at him.
Restrepo finds Herbers with the cross. Header, Richter, knocked down, cleared away. Quentin Griffith was right there for Charleston. Romario Williams. 1v1 with Trusty. Good pressure there from the Union Academy player.
He's decent over there before, you know, a little lofted ball. It's tough to get some power on a header like that from Richter, so it's not much he could do with that. You know, when balls are lofted, you can't get too much power, you know, on a header. It needs to be a little bit more of a driven ball.
Akinyode trying to tackle Guerra. Instead, the foul called on Bolu, and a restart upcoming for the Battery. Chang.
It's like talking about Richter trying to get a little bit gonna get too much power on it. Herbers lofts the ball in. It's tough. I mean, it's a good ball. It's just tough. You know, it's tough for Richter to get something on it, actually.
Fabian Herbers. 1v1 with Quentin Griffith. Drops it back, Derek Jones. Richter. Crossover, Woodbine, it's low. Headed away, Guerra clears.
Richter needs to get that ball up and over and beat that first guy, give himself a chance and the team a chance to get something off of it.
Derek Jones. Bender is headed away by Woodbine. And a handball called against Derek Jones. Will be a kick here for Charleston. Hey, Bethlehem Steel FC supporters, don't miss your chance to become an inaugural season ticket member. Season tickets are now prorated, starting at just $154 for the entire season. Also ask about partial plans, starting at just $50. Season tickets and partial plans let you save money, add benefits, and give you the ability to exchange tickets. Stop by Fan Services tent at the games for more information. Eric Ayuk finds Fabian Herbers. Washington with Marini, tacked to him. Jones out wide, Restrepo. Restrepo turns inside at the top of the box, finds Fernandez with the flick, right into the waiting arms of Cooper.
It's better to see the little different combinations between Walter, Restrepo, and Leo Fernandez in there, trying to create a little something. But it's good to see that they're kind of getting, you know, get in that box and maybe can create a little bit something. Maybe, you know, somebody can turn there and have a good shot at goal.
Anderson finds Restrepo perfectly. Restrepo, good through ball. Herbers. Cooper denies him.
That's great to see there. Walter Restrepo going in at pace. What he does best, driving forward, driving constantly forward at that pace, and slips in Herbers. As you see here, Anderson wins the ball, finds Restrepo. He goes quickly at pace, quickly goes right by him. finds Herbers, makes a great run in there, and Cooper comes up big with a great save. But that's what we need to see more of. We need to see more of that energy, bringing that, going with fast pace. When you have an opportunity to go forward, go forward. Do it with pace.
This portion of the match is brought to you by Lehigh Valley Health Network, proud to be the official healthcare provider of Bethlehem Steel FC. Woodbine could not handle that throw for Richter. And we're going to get our first substitution in the match. A player who just signed about a couple hours prior to this matchup in Chris Sonis. He will replace the dangerous Romario Williams.
Sure, Anderson and Trusty would like to see that. You know, Williams coming off that big body, holding things up.
Williams out, Sonis in. Played with Red Bulls 2 in the USL, 26 appearances, 5 goals last year. We're 25 in the Neon. Hackshaw. Griffith. Marini. Challenged by Ayuk. He gets called for the foul administered by Jaime Herrera.
Little touch here. Ayuk goes in. Nothing too crazy. If anything, could have been a little bit of advantage there.
Hackshaw searching for Ferguson and Chang on that far left flank. Will stay with the battery, who have looked very good when it comes to set pieces and restarts. Led by Justin Portillo. What do you make of the day of Romario Williams? He was challenged in the first half, but he sort of waned down in the latter stages.
He had a couple good, opportunities the first half. Made a nice little crafty runs. Had himself a good opportunity early on. Like we said, though, he was strong, big presence. Can flick things on, can hold the ball, let players join the attack with them. But yeah, as an older, it looks like he lost a little bit of speed of play, in the second half here.
He was banged up a bit. He was found on the pitch multiple times. Quixote goes back to Anderson. Brazilian working side by side with Trusty. Fernandez bends it in. Ayuk 1v1 with Griffith. Trails for Washington. Jones challenged by Sonis, no call. Hackshaw on the counter with Chang. Guerra. Akinyote applies the pressure.
Referee there basically just telling Jones be a little bit stronger and don't dive.
Marini, good touch. Hackshaw. Switches the point of attack. Flick into the box. Ahead of Guerra. Washington there instead.
Seems like the game might open up here a little bit more in 20 minutes or so to go. Guys' legs might not quite be there.
Sonis is onside. Akinyote bails out the back line, and McCarthy, yet another corner for Charleston.
It's all about not taking breaks. You gotta always know where everybody is at all times. A simple throw in, you can't let a guy get behind you on a simple throw in like that. Now you give yourself a corner kick that you have to deal with.
So we're gonna get our second substitution for Charleston. Ricky Garbanzo coming off of a knee injury. He's in for Atula Guerra. Second season for Garbanzo. Numbers forward here for Mike Anheuser's unit. Here's Chang's service off the set piece. Bends in, headed out Anderson. Corner to the opposite side.
It's a great ball in there by Chang. Whipping it in with pace. It's just what you want to see, as Charleston would like to see. You get a little flick on it or something like that, you're going to get yourself a great opportunity at goal. Now they're going to get another corner kick here. You need to see John McCarthy, own his box here. Be strong coming out.
Here's Portillo. Bends into the center. Knocked away. Restrepo to Fabian Herbers on the counter. Getting past Woodbine. Griffith impedes him. Nice work and a good run from Quentin Griffith. Fourth season from Antigua. Herbers challenging Ferguson, looking for Leo Fernandez.
You can see Herbers being a little active up here, trying to create stuff.
Derek Jones. Challenged by Michael Chang. He'll be assessed with the foul. Set piece upcoming for Steel FC.
Jones finds himself in a good position there, going at the defenders there. Beats the guy. Chang comes back and trips him up a little bit here. Here's a great opportunity on a set piece here. Let's see if we can get something. Get it on goal. Give yourself a chance.
So Richter, the captain, huddles up Ayuk, Herbers, Washington, and Fernandez. It's Herbers and Fernandez around the ball.
Get it up and over the wall. On goal, it's not easy.
Herbers bends it in. Cooper stands big.
Decent to get yourself on goal there. Not too much pace on there. An easy save for Cooper. It was good that he got the ball on goal though. Up and over the wall, it's not easy.
Trusty can't win the 1v1 on Sonis. Working with Garbanzo. Anderson clears. Ferguson. Portillo. Woodbine. Will earn the corner for Charleston. And now we'll get the first substitution for Steel FC. A man who got one of the assists last week at Cole Missimo. He will replace Leo Fernandez.
Leo didn't do too much. Didn't have too much to do today. In terms of, could have created a little bit more. But look for Cole to come in here now and bring that pace and try and get at the back line of Charleston and get yourself a goal here.
Here's the 8th corner for Charleston from Justin Portillo. Bends it in. McCarthy punches it away. Herbers clears from the top of the box. The volley is wide from Obi Woodbine. Goal kick Steel FC.
You're getting pretty good service here at Charleston on corner kicks. You got to be careful. Can't be giving up all these corner kicks. Like you said, it's the 8th corner. You just got to be careful. Be strong in your box.
Get into the game through the USL social media channels. Follow the USL on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for news, live game updates, and video highlights from across the league. With Matt Castle, Gwen Begley, and our entire fantastic TV2 Sports crew. Dave Little on hand, great to have you with us at Goodman Stadium. Clean sheet between the Battery of Charleston and Bethlehem Steel FC. Both teams searching for the 3rd win of the season. Cross inside, looking for Garbanzo, headed away, Trusty. Portillo trying to keep it alive. Fabian Herbers on the counter with Restrepo. Sean Ferguson, the captain, wins that duel.
It's fair. It means no, Restrepo takes a very large touch. No way he was going to get to that ball anyway. I'm okay with no foul there.
Marini with the cross. Back post, Garbanzo heads it. Sonis. Good challenge, Washington. Herbers does well to cut off Griffith. And look at the moves from Fabian. Mueller steps up. Hard whistle here from Jaime Herrera.
Gonna get a little bit chippy again here the last 15 minutes or so. Gotta be careful and disciplined. Gets the ball in. Jones steps in. Nudges guy off the ball a little bit there. Standing over him, not moving.
Chang on the through ball. Cross to the back post.
Power on that one.
Too high for the Chad's Ford, Pennsylvania product, Marini. Great crowd on hand here at Goodman Stadium in the 77th minute. Picture perfect day for USL action. These teams will next meet in September, one of two meetings during the regular season as Akinyode goes down.
Can't get much better than weather than this, Dave. On a cloud in the sky, 72 degrees. Slides right in there. It's a clear foul.
No wind to deal with. Like prior matchups, it was really the opposite, especially when playing long balls. I remember the first home game against FC Cincinnati. It was tough to bend them in, and the long lofted crosses just kept going, man.
Yeah, wind is, soccer players absolutely hate playing in the wind, but you got to deal with all the conditions.
Washington on the restart, looking for Ayuk over Mueller. There's Cooper. And for Alex Tambakis, who has started every game this season. Anheuser opting for a change on the road, the second consecutive road contest for the Battery, who lost last week at Charlotte. Throw for Woodbine. Chang. Sonis looked for Chang. Keeps it alive. Chang with his left bends it wide of McCarthy. And McCarthy can't like that Michael Chang goes from the left flank all the way towards the center of the box.
That communication there, everybody needs to help each other, slide, be a little bit more of a zoner there. When the ball's in your zone, step up and know what to do with it. Got through a couple guys there and nothing too dangerous.
Bethlehem Steel FC inaugural season ticket plans are on sale starting at just $50. Lock in your season ticket plan now at BethlehemSteelFC.com. Headed by Hackshaw. Trusty has to go back, does well to McCarthy. Sonis, who just signed, last year played at New York Red Bulls Tool, was invading the box. Hackshaw wins the header. Over to Anderson.
It's important that, Bolu sits in front of Anderson. Trusty here at these last 10 minutes or so. Anchor the guys in front of him. Be a strong presence in the middle there. Needs to break up plays, win the ball. And on the offensive side of things, be that connector. Get that ball, be that little playmaker from deep. Move the ball, switch from side to side.
Chang up ahead. Marini Challenged by Derek Jones. Washington to the captain Richter. Ups for Fabian Herbers. Throw here for Steel FC, working in conjunction on the right flank with Walter Restrepo.
Referee's having his word with the players. Looked like they weren't too happy with the play here. Fabian gets the ball, and it goes right off Fabian Herbers, and the referee still gives him the ball.
So the
now
captain,
you know
Sean
why he's not
Ferguson.
too happy there.
Yeah, he had an argument, didn't he? So Fabian Herbers' afternoon is done. He'll be replaced here in the 82nd minute by Sekou Kone. Eric Ayuk will also go off. And James Chambers will come in for him. Well done by Ayuk and Herbers this afternoon.
Let's look for Chambers to come in and be a little bit more connecting going forward here. And Sekou Kone to get in behind, create something, get himself, an opportunity at goal.
Long throw from the captain. Center of the box looking for Kone. Jones went up, pushed off on Woodbine. Restart here for Charleston.
It was good work from Fabian Herbers and Eric Ayuk today. Ayuk was dangerous going forward, very quick, and also on the defensive side of things, he did well getting back and winning a couple challenges. Fabian Herbers was active up front, especially here a little bit in the later few minutes, getting a few opportunities.
Jones wins it in the air. Chambers out wide, right flank, Restrepo. 1v1 with Woodbine and has him on his back heel. Chambers finds the captain Richter, bends it in, back post, headed away Griffith.
Good win there by Bolu. That's what we're talking about, sitting in there in that right spot.
Kone, 1v1 with Quentin Griffith. Sekou tried to spin on the inside, and he gets called for the foul.
Need Kone to come in here and be active, constantly fighting that last line there. Create something.
So Emmanuel Ajeti, in his 4th season, 27 years old, from Ghana, comes in here late for Charleston. He replaces Dante Marini. Restrepo threatening Obi Woodbine. He desperately has to clear.
That's more of the pressure that Brennan Burke's looking to wants to see. Restrepo runs hard there, wins. Even it's the little stuff, the little details like that get you something.
And Anderson goes down on the far flank.
I don't know what quite happened there, but calling out the training staff.
It was his foot.
He was challenged by the new signee. There he is, Chris Sonis. Played for New York Red Bulls 2 last year.
I think he might need a little water break over there.
We look forward to seeing you again on Sunday, May 1st at 3 p.m. as Bethlehem Steel FC face Louisville City FC here at Goodman Stadium. Tickets are on sale now for just $13. Call 844-STEEL-FC. So Matt, we're getting to the tail end of this match between Steel FC and Charleston. Do you expect both clubs to put numbers forward, or will they put numbers back?
I think right now what Charleston's okay getting out of here with a tie. Go home in a long road trip and walk away with a point. I think they would be happy with something like that. But at home here, Steel FC, I'm sure Brendan Burke and staff want to see guys pushing forward and get that 3 points here. It's at home. You always want 3 points at home.
Garbanzo on the far flank. Quixote, Anderson, Jones, tackled Hackshaw. Yellow card immediately, Matt.
Need to be smart. Can't do anything stupid. Jones gets caught on the ball. Tries to track back into foul, throws him down. But needs to be smart after the play. Got yourself a yellow. You don't want to cost yourself another game. And the dangerous set piece again here. This is not what you want for Steel FC.
Portillo and Chang around the ball in the 87th minute in a scoreless game. It's Chang to bend it in, far post. Goal kick, Steel FC.
Good work by Steel FC to hold the line. The ball gets whipped in, nothing, not the greatest ball. And ride it out for a goal kick. Now you can get your line up here. A few minutes left to play. It's important to, again, be disciplined, stay strong, be smart.
And you hear clubs practicing situations like this, Matt. Waning moments in a game, put numbers forward.
Coaches go through it all the time. Different situations, in practice 11v11. If you're down a man, you're up a man, you're up a goal, down a goal, tied, whatever it is, the last few minutes they'll let you play like that and battle it out. So now you actually have it in an actual gameplay here. So we'll see how it goes.
Anderson headed away, Ferguson. Garbanzo heads that back for Woodbine. Anderson whistled for the foul on Sonis.
Anderson needs to be smarter here. You can't wrap your whole legs around him. He's just completely bear hugging him there. You need to be smarter. Just hold your ground. There's no reason to foul here. 2 minutes left in the game. Now you're dealing with a difficult situation on a set piece here. Don't let the referee make the game.
Portillo will give way to Michael Chang. The lefty will bend this in the 89th minute. Chang towards McCarthy, headed Sonis, didn't get all of it.
And that's exactly what's not needed. Right there, it starts with Anderson, a stupid foul really. And then you get yourself an opportunity like that almost, puts the ball in the back of the net and costs you in the last couple minutes of a game 3 points. It's important to be smart there.
That discipline definitely coming into play here in the latter stages. We've reached the 90th minute. Griffith. Anderson heads it to Akinyote. Jones looks for Colmissimo. And here's Washington.
I think the referee could at least let that ball go for a couple more seconds to see if Kone can get anything out of it and then blow his whistle.
Washington gives way to Trusty.
Not happy where that ball's at.
And 2 minutes officially. Stoppage time here between Charleston and Bethlehem. Numbers forward here for Steel FC. Trusty, the long ball. Header won by Griffith. Poked away by Portillo. Quick throw for Washington. Griffith ahead to Sonis. Anderson wins it. Woodbine looks for Sonis. Richter 1v1. Will be Woodbine on the far flank. There's the cross. It's low. Anderson clean. Can't clear, however. Good work, Cole Missimo at the top of the box.
Anderson needs to be smarter at that. In this point, only a couple minutes left. Why play it, a 5-yard ball on the top of the box for no reason? Just clear the ball out. Give yourself some, a chance.
Portillo long ball for Woodbine, headed away. Richter. And Restrepo with it. Chambers, good touch to the captain. Finds Akinyote. Good combination, Steel FC in stoppage time. Restrepo turns inside. Flick, denied, however. Taylor Mueller had other thoughts. Good ball to Akinyote. Kone with a step on Ferguson. Leaves it off. Richter with the cross, headed out. Missimo with space to Washington, crosses it in, nobody home for Steel FC.
A good little run of play, a few different balls in, opportunities. At the end there, Washington needs to, drive a ball in, not just float it in there at the end.
And that will do it here for Steel FC and Charleston, battling to a draw at Goodman Stadium. First draw for Steel FC on the season. For Charleston, it's their second.
Not the end of the world to get a point. It's better than no points at all. At least you get a point here at home. Just keep on inching up. They'll take it and they'll move on. Wasn't the cleanest game. I'm sure Brendan Burke and staff will look back and realize that. Pressure wasn't quite always right there. The urgency was a little bit off. Not too many opportunities attacking-wise. Need to clean some things up going forward.
Quite the physical game. That sort of waned at the tail end of this one, Matt, but both teams matched each other in that realm.
Things can get chippy at the end there, so at least it was smart that nobody, saw them costing themselves an extra game suspension or anything like that.
Steel FC improves to 2-2-1. Charleston bolsters its record to 2-1-2. And largely without Romario Williams, the dangerous player, very lethal in his attack. Atulo Guerra also got subbed out as well. Our very own Gwen Begley is standing by with the captain, Ryan Richter.
Thank you guys, Ryan. Now obviously you want a point, but you walk out of the game with a point instead of any goals. They got a little chippy there. What are your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, it was always going to be a hard-fought game, so that was expected coming in. Defensively we were really strong, and I wish we could have taken one of our chances, but overall it was a pretty good performance, I think.
Now coming out of this game, what are some positives that you can take into this week of practice that you can apply next Sunday?
Well, you see the style we're trying to play. We're trying to play in their half. I think we did a good job once we got the ball forward. We did a good job of getting the team up there to support and then start playing. So, it's our style's coming along slowly, and I think every week we'll get better.
Great, thanks, Ryan.
Thank you very much, Gwen. There were a lot of quality chances for Brendan Burke's Steel FC and Enhauser's Charleston Battery. Both teams laid it all on the line against Cooper making his first start for Charleston and McCarthy for Steel FC. We go to the second half with Restrepo.
Restrepo picks the ball up, gets the ball defensively. Good pressure, finds Herbers, flips the ball over the top there. And Richard just can't get enough on it. And then again, it's good pressure. Restrepo takes the ball, gets it with speed, then drives. Goes directly out, finds Herbers again. And Cooper comes out made big and strong. That's good work there, though. And a set piece again for Herbert. Gets the ball up and over the wall. Nothing too crazy for Cooper. And then Charleston gets the ball here. Whips the ball in. It's easy save for McCarthy. Gets the line up. They had a lot of corner kicks today. There's good services in, but here's another one whipped in. McCarthy holds his ground well and strong. And Chang gets another ball, whips it in here. Finds on the back post, just misses the header there.
8 corners in total for Steel FC. None for Steel FC. I should say Charleston had 8. We'll wrap it up on the other side. Clean sheet, it's a draw. Steel FC and the Battery. More after this. Back here at beautiful Goodman Stadium, a draw between Steel FC and Charleston. Gwen Begley standing by with Steel FC head coach Brendan Burke.
Thank you, guys. Now, first draw this season. Obviously, you want to put some goals up on the board, but it's great to walk away with a point here today.
Yeah, that's a top team that we played today, like I said at halftime, so I am happy to walk away with a point. I thought the game was choppy and neither team ever really established a rhythm, so you're happy that nothing bad happens on a day like that.
Now, is there anything that you saw today, the adjustments that you'd like to make going this week of practice before Louisville on Sunday?
I think we talked about it at halftime, and I don't think we ever really accomplished it. We wanted to speed up our play. When we did get them pinned into their half, we wanted to speed up the tempo of the game. And we did a little bit better with it, but I don't think we ever truly accomplished it today.
Now, how do you think your team's progressing? I know with Richmond, you said it was a veteran team that players could learn from. How do you think they're learning from these teams, that you haven't seen before?
Oh, it's great experience. And today we put out a couple older players, some players down from the first team. I thought it was a good mix of players. I thought there were a number of guys that put in good individual performances, but we never really clicked as a group, and some of that will just come from the number of times they walk out together and the number of times that we play together, and those relationships can grow.
Great, thanks, Coach.
It was certainly nice to see Anderson, Leo Fernandez, Fabian Herbers, and Walter Restrepo in with Steel FC on loan. Matt, your takeaway from this draw?
Just like Coach said, it wasn't the cleanest game. It was very choppy and whatnot, got a little chippy. Nobody really had, any really dangerous opportunities. A couple here and there. The play was a little bit nothing, again, back and forth. So, overall, they'll be happy with the point and move forward against a good Charleston squad. And we'll see what they can do next week.
And Matt, the 3-game homestand concludes next week, Sunday, May 1st, 3 p.m. as Bethlehem Steel FC faces Louisville City FC here at Goodman. Tickets are on sale now for just $13 a seat. Call 844-STEEL-FC for tickets, or log on to BethlehemSteelFC.com. Steel FC with a draw improves to 2-2-1. Charleston improves to 2-1-2. Steel FC Soccer today was produced by Bill Dannenberg. Special thanks to Chris Brand, Carl Graber in the booth. On behalf of my partner, Matt Castle, Gwen Begley on the sidelines, and our entire fantastic, hardworking TV2 Sports crew, this is Dave Leno saying so long from Goodman Stadium. A clean sheet, a draw between Steel FC and Charleston. We'll talk to you next week as Louisville City, first in the East, comes to town. Have a great rest of the weekend, everyone.